Guys, today I'm going to be going over some of my favorite albums ever. I've been listening to metal since I was like 2 or 3, and I've kind of recently gotten into listening to full albums rather than just playing whatever song whenever I want. So I wanted to do this video. A few things first. I've limited the list to 1 album per band because some bands would be completely plastered onto the list otherwise. Also, I couldn't really order the albums in terms of favorite because they were all just so good and I couldn't decide. But I do know what my number 1 favorite is, so I'll save that one for last. Alright, so starting off the list, we got Slipknot. Now, most people say that their favorite Slipknot album is either the self-titled or Iowa, which I think both are fantastic albums. But my favorite Slipknot album has to be Volume 3, The Subliminal Verses. This was the point of Slipknot where they really started to change. Self-Titled and Iowa were just completely heavy. Volume 3 did keep some of the heaviness with songs like Blister Exists. But Volume 3 got a bit softer, with songs like Duality and Before I Forget. And then there's Circle, which was just all acoustic. And it was also Vermillion, which was just a song that was split into 2 parts. One being very dark and heavy, and the other being full acoustic. But overall, like this album is very diverse, and all the differences about it they're just done so well and fit so well together. So the next album I'm gonna mention is Follow the Reaper by Children of Bodom. Now I know the Children of Bodom songs are just a bunch of melodies and solos, but they're all insane. All the lead bits are just so good that you can't get bored listening through. Even though that's all the album mainly is. Man, Alexi Laiho is just such a great guitarist. The fact that he was able to play all those lead bits while singing as well. Damn. Children of Bodom, S-tier band, Follow the Reaper, S-tier album. Alright, so I remember back when, like, for years, all I would listen to was the Big Four, Iron Maiden, and Pantera. There was, like, barely anything else I would listen to. Well, Disturbed was the band that opened the tunnel for all the other bands I listen to now. And their album, 10,000 Fists, is definitely the best of their albums. I never thought a group of songs could sound so similar and so different at the same time. There's so many good songs from that album. There's the title track, there's Defy, Stricken, Sons of Plunder, Decadence. Then there's like Overburdened, which was just a great slower and cleaner song. And then they also covered Land of Confusion, which was also just goated. Yeah, David Draymond also just has a very nice voice. Iron Maiden. The band that got me back into metal after my big break from only listening to Metallica for so long. And Seventh Son of a Seventh Son is such a good album. I mean, what is there to even say? Moonchild is such a good opening. Infinite Dreams is a great song with cleaner riffs. And the rest of the album, all the way to Only the Good Die Young, just banger after banger after banger. Perfect album. Okay, so I've only recently gotten into metalcore, and I don't know that much about it, but even though it's new to me, Killswitch Engage's As Daylight Dies is such a good album. The crazy guitar parts, Howard's insane vocals, everything about that album is just S tier. I love how slow the start of the album is with the title track. And then how it just goes straight into This Is Absolution. With how diverse the album is, having songs as fast and heavy as Unbroken, as slow and heavy as The Eye of the Storm, and really good clean bits like that one from Reject Yourself. The album just somehow has the best riffs and choruses ever. Okay, Linkin Park is more than just a metal band. They've got a mixture of everything. While Hybrid Theory is their most popular album, I prefer Meteora for having much more diversity. It has songs as heavy as Don't Stay and Figures '09. Get away from me! And songs as soft as Breaking the Habit. While also having elements of rap, like in, well, more than half of their songs. I had nothing to say and then Hit the Floor and Nobody's Listening even have some use of, like, Asian instruments. And even though Numb has the most views on YouTube of any metal song ever, it's still somehow underrated. Look, I don't care if this is the most normal opinion in metal, but Master of Puppets is one of the greatest albums ever. All the songs in it are just so fast and heavy, and they just have the best riffs in thrash metal. Oh, okay. I guess every big thrash band has the best riffs in thrash metal, but you get what I'm saying. There's even some cleaner riffs in the tracks, like the title track in Sanitarium. And then there's Orion, which was just completely instrumental, and it had one of Cliff's iconic songs. Man, why do we have to lose Cliff so early? So when you think of the most popular In Flames album, you most likely think of The Jester Race or Clayman, but to me, nothing beats Come Clarity. I remember the full story of how I got into In Flames. My journey of In Flames. Me and one of my friends were just listening to Murders in the Rue Morgue by Iron Maiden when we stumbled across In Flames' cover of it. And we were pretty young then, so the fact that this random-ass band we just found started playing Iron Maiden with the lowest screaming we'd ever heard was hysterical to us, and we always remembered In Flames as the band that just covered Murders in the Rue Morgue. Fast forward years later, and I hear Only for the Weak for the first time, and I honestly thought it was kinda mid. I think it's decent now, though. But then months later, I heard Take This Life, and I fell in love with it. I immediately started listening to a couple of other songs from that album, such as Dead End, which I loved the heaviness combined with a female singer, and harmonization between Anders and a woman. Crawling Through Knives, which has one of the sickest riffs from the album, and the title track, which was just completely surprising. I never thought in a million years, I never would have expected in a million years to have a Melodeath band do a ballad. Yet In Flames just did it so amazingly. I just fell in love with In Flames from that point on. And no matter what In Flames song I'm vibing to, I can just go back to a song from Come Clarity, and it will just hit me way more emotionally. So, it also took me a long time to get into Avenged Sevenfold. I liked Hail to the King, I always did. But I didn't like some other stuff I heard because of how softly sung the choruses were, like in Nightmare. But I'm used to all that now. Now I love Avenged, and I can easily say that the White Album is an S-tier album. This was literally the album that got me into albums. Like, I used to listen to just certain songs whenever I wanted. Like, if I wanted to play a song, I would always play a song, then I'd just play a song similar to it, and so on. But then, after listening to the White Album, I'm like, why don't I do this? Why don't I do this more often? I just listen to full albums. Anyway, the White Album. It literally starts off with critical acclaim, Almost Easy, and Scream, which is like, how do you beat that? They also used a lot of unique elements in their songs from that album, like the symphonic bits in Afterlife, the tribal-sounding intro in Brompton Cocktail, and the entirety of A Little Piece of Heaven. Like, come on. And oh my... Dear God is one of the greatest ballads of all time. I literally get chills every time I hear it, and that, like, rarely happens with songs. I can't even describe how good that song is and how different it hits, or just how good this album is in general. Alright, so, we are about to get to number 1. We made it this far. Let's go. Anyway, if you made this far, it obviously means you're enjoying my videos, so why not give this video a like and subscribe so you can see more videos like this? Maybe I do a lot of weird combinations of content. Anyway, my favorite album ever at the moment, because it's gonna change a lot, but my favorite album at the moment is Mezmerize by System of a Down. It is the greatest album to ever exist. It's just so fun to listen to. It's got practically everything. Fast and heavy riffs like B.Y.O.B. Slower songs like Lost in Hollywood. Never gone to Hollywood. Completely weird songs like Cigaro. My cock is much bigger than you. Crazy and perfect vocal harmonies and like practically every song on the album. And question. That's all I'm gonna say. Question. It has everything. It's got fast, heavy bits, slow acoustic bits, screams, crazy vocal harmonies, Serge being weird with his la-la-las, everything. Also, closing in with Lost in Hollywood was definitely the best option there was for a closing. The album's structure is so flawless as well. Like, I think this album stands out from other albums because while not every song is, like, particularly good, they still found a way to make it work. They still found a way to keep you interested and make it work by making the songs fucking stupid as hell. Like, yeah, S-tier album, best album ever. Alright, thank you for watching, and I will see you some other time. I don't fucking know. Yeah, bye.